got a bunch of paperback sci-fi slash fantasy books. Some to sell, some for me. Went to a little Goodwill bookstore. Here's the first one I got. And they didn't all come from the Goodwill bookstore, but most of them did. Ravenloft. Ravenloft is a subgenre of Dungeons and Dragons. And this book is not in immaculate shape. I don't know if you can tell, but it's got a big groove, shallow groove, stamped into the pages in the back cover. This is not for me, I promise. This is to sell, and I have been finding, if you are a bookseller, that tie-in books, tie-in novels to genre series, video games, RPGs, tend to have a lot of potential to be worth a lot of money. I keep finding that a lot of the valuable books I'm finding in the genre section are these kinds of tie-in books to D&D or Magic the Gathering or Warhammer. And oh, it's got a big fat coffee stain with some mildewing on it, so great. So that's, I think, I don't remember how much that's worth, I think around 20. This one's not for resale, this one is for me. This is a gorgeous vintage copy of a Frank Herbert book I've never heard of. The Santa Roga Barrier. Frank Herbert, of course, best known for Dune, but he had all of these other works that don't get really any publicity anymore. I don't think anybody reads them. This cost $1, and I think it's a first edition. It's a Berkeley Medallion 1968, and it has this corner taped here. But just look at the cover. I mean, I love not all vintage sci-fi because some of it looks really stupid, but stuff like this will be with me for years. And I will probably actually read this book. One of my great cardinal sins as a science fiction fan is I've never finished Dune. I've gotten about halfway through it. I need to definitely go back and do it. And I loved what I read. I just was in a circumstance I didn't see it through. But I'm curious about his other works as well. Here's another one for me, probably. Not an author that I recognize, not a book that I recognize, but the cover art is just great. I just love it. It's a DAW. These old DAW paperbacks can be quite good. $1. And I know nothing about it at all. It's a great cover and a great title, Dinosaur Beach. Maybe it sucks. We'll see. I'll look it up on Goodreads. I might end up keeping it even if it sucks, just for that cover art. This is also one for me. I got this at a different Goodwill. I zipped over to 2 other Goodwills before they closed. I have a sinking feeling that I'm actually going to read this one as well. It was $1. I couldn't really pass it up. I used to read stuff like this when I was a teenager. Now I've moved on to much more adult and sophisticated books about ships and aliens. But yeah, I read the Aliens novels and the Predator novels and the Aliens versus Predator novels and the Doom novels, and I had Sid Meier's Alpha Centauri tie-in novel that's actually worth like $30. I think I still have it. And a Diablo novel. But I've never read the StarCraft one, so don't tell anybody, but I might read that. Here's another one for selling. This might end up as a gift for a family member who used to play this RPG. This is a good one to know. Werewolf. It is a follow-on RPG that came after Vampire the Masquerade, which was the big popular goth tabletop RPG. And this is quite rare. I'm not entirely sure how much it is worth. I believe over 25. Here's another one for me. This was $1. Again, Peter F. Hamilton's The Dreaming Void, which is the first in one of his most popular space opera series. And Peter Hamilton is someone I've not spent enough time with. I took a stab at The Reality Dysfunction, and it didn't grab me after 20 pages or so, but that was a while ago. And I know that he's held in extraordinarily high regard, especially as an author of space opera. And this is actually quite mercifully small as far as space opera goes. It is 600 pages long, but that's definitely doable, especially if I wind up really liking it. Oh, it was $2. Never mind. I think it was $2. Lucky find there. Here is the luckiest find, not only of the day, of the year. This is one of the best book finds I've ever had as a book hunter for myself and as a book reseller. This may look like absolutely nothing to you. It apparently looked like absolutely nothing to everybody else that flipped through that section, because miraculously nobody else bought it. This is from a computer game that came out in the 90s that was made by the same people that did Duke Nukem, I think. And it's you played a racist caricature of a Japanese man who killed his enemies using swords and shurikens and chopsticks, literally chopsticks. And they're actually rebooting this series, I think. They're coming out with another game. This is the first novel in a series of tie-in novels. Right now, the actives on Amazon are sitting at $300. There's one active on eBay for $150. So I don't know how much exactly this will sell for, but somewhere in that range. Bare minimum 100. 150 to 300. I would say it's very plausible I could get 200 plus for this book that cost me $199. And I was already going out of my mind because I used to play this game briefly because it was really hard. I was a kid. I played the first level or something, but I remember this. I had no idea there was a novel tie-in at all. And just... I went book hunting on a whim because I had been listing on eBay all day. I just needed a break. I wanted to go see if I could rummage up some treasure, and there it was. So that was my little book haul. I got a bunch of shirts to help cover the cost. Oh, I also got this stupid thing I guess I'll showcase here. These obnoxious combat sports playing cards, or the combat fitness deck. It's a deck of 52 playing cards that have exercise routines on them, and I got these for $4, and this will sell to someone very tactical who needs to be prepared. So yeah, that was a fun little haul. Not bad for an hour and a half or so of rummaging around. So thanks for watching, and a ton more, probably too many more book reviews are coming.